like you alone can't really make any change at all, that you're just one person and what can you really do, right? It's a big world and there's a lot going on, and especially right now there's even more going on and we just don't even know what it all is. So if you're feeling like, you want to do something, you want to help, but you just don't know how, you don't know how to start it, you don't think that you can, then that's what we're going to talk about today, because you absolutely can. I'm going to tell you about what you can do. So hello, I am Owen. Thank you so much for joining today. I really appreciate it. I hope you're staying safe and healthy. And just a reminder, we are live on both Facebook and YouTube right now. So if you are here watching live, feel free to drop me a comment. I'd love to chat with you and see how you're doing. Okay, so the idea of making a difference comes down even sometimes to just, does my vote matter, right? There's 350 million people in this country. Does one vote matter? And, in many cases, right, it's easy to make the case that it doesn't, but in some cases, it's very easy to make the case that, yeah, it does. When you think about it, right, your voice is one of those that shape where our country is going. Now, is one vote going to, completely change the direction? Maybe, maybe not. But think about what happens if you don't have your voice. Think about what happens if you don't. Okay, so let's just get rid of the fact right now. Voting and election fraud and other kinds of things aside, ultimately your voice, voting and what have you, is how we move forward in this country. Now, there are other ways to make a difference besides voting, right? If you are out protesting right now, or you want to make a difference for, race relations and systemic racism, right? That's a big fight. It can feel very easy to think that just doing what you do, doing your little bit, is not making a difference because it's a huge, huge, long game. But think about it, right? What is it that you're trying to do? You're trying to improve someone else's life. Think about even just one little interaction that you might have had that may have had an impact. Okay, so let's just disavow the whole notion right away that one person can't do anything, because one person can change the world. Think about one person who's changed your world, even if it was just through a small comment or an act of generosity or something like that. So you can do something. You've seen individual people do something big in your life, so you can do that. Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way, I often find when I've got something that is just really pushing and really driving, and I feel this passion inside me that I want to move forward and get it done, that a lot of the times I'll say, I don't have time to do this, right? Like if I want to make if you want to make a difference in the world, right, it takes some time to do that. And I can get very stuck in my routine sometimes and believe that, I really don't have the time to do it. Like it's nice and it's a good thought, but someone else out there is going to make that difference. And somebody else out there is going to, who has time and the money perhaps and the skills and the location and position and what have you to do it right. Okay. What I often find is that when I tell myself I don't have time to do something, usually it's because I don't know how to do it. Right? If you want to get in action, you want to start something big, whether it's a new business or activism or what have you, or a nonprofit, right? If it's not something you've done before, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be really a daunting task because it seems like something that's impossible. And I'm here to tell you that it's not. Usually, when I say I don't have time to do something, how that correlates with the I don't know how to do it is because I don't have the time to even sit down, or I don't want to take the time perhaps to even sit down and figure out what it is that I need to figure out, to know what it is that I don't know. And that can be really, really daunting. And that's where I was a lot when I started my own business about 10 years ago, that a lot of things, that I needed to do, I had no training and I had no skills in. And it took a lot of time to go around and look for it. And I went for training, I looked for it, and I couldn't find the training that I was looking for. That was going to help me to get to that next step. It was going to help me to really break down those barriers of how do you keep moving and how do you find the time to do something that you don't really know how to do. Now, I fought through it because I have a stomach. I'm a glutton for punishment from time to time, and I don't mind bashing my head against the wall to figure all these things out. But I certainly recognize that when I was getting started, it would have been so helpful to have some guidance and some training to help me to put my business together, to help put an organization together, to really help me get clear about my direction and where I was going, and to get actionable steps to get it up and running ASAP. So that being missing when I got started is something that I've spent the last several years working to put together. Because if you're feeling like you really got to get out there and you want to make a difference, that is your passion talking. And we are all essentially required, right, to be in touch with our passions. Because if we're not, then we're somebody who we're not. And we already talked about authenticity and why that's so important. So if you have this urging need to make a difference, you wake up in the morning thinking about it, and you go to bed thinking about it, then you got to get in action. It's just not an option for you, right? And the missing piece of how you do it, I have it for you now. So if you are ready to start a new business, bring a product or service out to the world, you're ready to get into service through business, get into service through activism, get into service through fundraising and charity work, then the 30 Days to Freedom Challenge is exactly for you. This is 30 days of guidance and coaching with me and the other folks that you'll be in the challenge with over 30 days. And we'll get you really, really clear on who it is that you want to serve, how you want to serve them, and then the strategy and the technical pieces that we put together to get it up and running for you. So even if you don't know exactly what it is that you want to do, you've got no product, you've got no service, you just have this itch and you just don't know what it is, we're going to help you sort through that as well. We're going to help you figure out just exactly what that itch is and how you want to scratch it. Okay? But the trick is that you got to get into action. The trick is you got to get started. So how do you get started? Go to abundancehackers.life right now, and you'll get more information on the 30 Days to Freedom Challenge. We're going to start another one here really soon. So go ahead, check it out, and sign up if you want. Give me any questions here. But generally, it's an amazing program. I'm so excited about it. People are just having a blast and changing their lives in it right now. So we'd love to have you be a part of it. I'm going to put a link here in the chat as soon as I sign off. But that's that for today. So let me know if you have any questions. Go to abundancehackers.life right now. Check out the challenge. We'd love to have you. If you want to make a difference, this is the way to get started. All right? Thank you so much for being here again, and I will talk to you tomorrow.